chess people. This is attempt number 5 or 6, maybe. Yeah, I'm trying to record a video where I play chess and commentate at the same time. It's very difficult, but we're gonna do it. That was weird. Okay, we've jumped into a game, so let's play. I play e4 basically exclusively. I need to learn some new openings. In fact, if you have an opening that I should play, leave it in the comment section and I shall attempt to play it. I like this move order. It allows me not to play d3 to defend this pawn. So that's pretty nice. And I can instead go for c3 and then d4 like this. Now we have a pretty big center. Okay, we're gonna come here. He's trying to be tricky, although there's no trap here. Sometimes you play a5 to trap the bishop, but that's actually not my opponent's idea. Okay, interesting game we have here. I think if our opponent plays c5, I might just play d5 and shut this bishop down. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's see what we should do. Okay, I want to develop my bishop. I don't think I want to push any pawns right now. I'm just going to develop this bishop. This is like what they teach and what I've taught my students is like putting your pieces like this is like the ideal chess setup. Getting your pieces like this, it never happens, but today it has. Maybe now that the queen's blocked. No, let's put our pieces on good squares. I kind of want to put my queen on this square. No, that's too crazy. We're gonna be calm. We're not gonna get too crazy. Let's keep our queen nearish the center of the board. Yeah, that knight has no way into the position. We come here. Just developing a piece. Maybe we want to look. Trade. Okay. This is an offer for a trade of bishops. I could drop back. I don't really want to give my opponent this really nice diagonal. Don't have to take. I could come here, here, or here, and take back instead. Yeah, what should we go with? What would you go with in this position? We'll have to check with the computer after this game, but I think just trade, and then I'm gonna step up and attack the rook. I'm now gonna push on this side and take control of this file. They say it's good to have control of a file, to have your piece controlling it. And my opponent looks very tied down right now, so I feel like we should be able to take advantage of this. And I think I see how. If we come here, I mean, now the knight can get out this way. But I was thinking of getting my rook on the 7th rank, and then looking at this pawn push on e5. Allowing my knight to eventually land on this square, and adding more pressure here. I'm wondering if maybe I should go for this pawn push now. I don't think so. I think I want to go like this. just add tension. And yes, this piece can get out. That's okay. Okay, and that's the mistake of what I just did. Yeah, I'm gonna need a backup now, I think. I don't see any way around it. Unless there's some in-between move I'm missing. Yeah, I think that was just a mistake. I have to now back up. But again, still can't get control of this file. You'll have to make another queen move before you do. So, not too upset about that. Okay. Interesting. I feel like the real crux of this position is finding the right time to play e5, or if I should even play e5, or if I should go for something else. I'm kind of tempted to play it now. Here, 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 here. Opens up, attack here. Okay, I like this for a reason. Okay, you now have to take. I'm immediately regretting this decision. And the regret comes from now, I feel like my dark square is a little bit weak. And my opponent still has a dark square bishop. Well, let's fret not. I think we need to take this knight and win a pawn. Is that how this is shaping out? That's really good. Okay. Yeah, I think we're just winning a pawn here. And we're pressuring this knight. And we can add more pressure to it as well, depending on how our opponent defends. Okay, they moved the knight. Maybe they wanna. Let's see. Okay, let's defend this pawn by dropping the queen back, getting behind this pawn, and defending. Okay. I think we might now drop back, kicking the queen a little bit. And now I'm kind of spoiled for choice. My rook can go to a7 or a8 with the support of the queen or the bishop. It would be lovely if somehow I could get to this queen, but I can't. So maybe we go a7 and we just put pressure on that bishop. I think that's a fine idea. Yeah, or actually, maybe we can go after this pawn. Looks weak. This is the b5 pawn. Let's see. I kind of want to jump in here. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. If takes, then I take with tempo on the bishop. Okay. And now I think I want to get over here and go after this f7 pawn. Okay, I think we should play this now. Now the idea is basically just here. Can be stopped though. So we need to find the right way to do this. But man, does this look bad for my opponent. All three of their 4 pieces are on the back row, so that's good. No, I don't see a tactic here. But I see a way to add pressure. None of these checks work. And if you come here, I'm going to come here. And you can't defend with the bishop because it's covered by the pawn. I think this is good. And you can't move the knight now because the f7 square, like we were talking about, this actually looks really good for me. Could my opponent... No, there's no queen trade. Again, just take the knight. Yeah, I think you come here and then you lose to this. Maybe you give a desperation check, but I don't see anything. Okay. This has to be good for me. Let's take this pawn with check. Nice. Okay. Okay, let's play this. Oh, that's classy. Ooh, did you see it? Because if they take on h6, then our queen gets in with checkmate. Yeah, and it looks pretty bad either way, because now I can come there. What they should do here is probably yeah. Got to bring the rook in. Now we're gonna trade, but it's too late. Oh, and this is really bad. Like, if you take with the queen, now you hang this. If you take here, you hang mate. So actually, this is even worse than... Oh, so okay, sorry. You can take with the knight. Okay. Let's see. Queen might get in with check, but I don't think there's anything after that check. So let's come here, and then we're going to come here, and it should be game over. Because once my knight's on e6, potential forkage, also adding pressure to the g7 pawn, and then I can take that pawn and deliver checkmate. So yeah. Oh yeah, and if the queen leaves to give it check, it better come right back, because then the bishop will hang. Okay. I see. So my opponent's saying, we'll take your bishop. Because, again, my opponent still can't take my bishop in this position, because now checkmate looms this way. So that's actually very nice. But now I think I can come here because it's a... Oh, but I get checked, and then I lose my bishop. And then I win a bishop. Yeah, I think we do this because it should simplify things. Yes. If check here takes, then I take with check. If you take with the pawn, I can still take here. Okay. I think we've managed this. I'm gonna have to edit this, I think. This is tough. This has probably been my best commentary, but I feel like I'm rambling. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna take here with check and be up 3 pawns. Yeah. Okay, we'll do that and then come there. Let's get my queen and my king involved now. And now the only thing to be careful of is time. Okay, you can give me a check, but it's fine. Okay. I think it should be pretty smooth sailing now. I don't see much that my opponent can really do. Yeah, this looks good. Just gonna keep pushing. The knight's nearly trapped, yeah. Okay. Oh, I should not mate myself. It's a little scary, but there's no check. I think we're okay. Fork, but that has to end. Okay, yeah, looks good. Let's attack this knight. Let's keep pushing, and we shall make a queen. Another thing to be careful of is stalemate. Okay. I'm actually glad to move my king over because I didn't want my king to work as a stalemate helper. Okay, that should be it. One more check. I'd be surprised if my opponent doesn't resign. But if they don't, I shall make a new queen. And we'll go checkmate them. Okay. Yeah. I made the E pawn a queen first because, I don't know. If you make the F pawn a queen, maybe there's some like sack or something to accidentally stalemate with. Okay, we can win the knight. And there's no stalemate. So we're all good. Good job, us. Can we checkmate in 17 seconds? The answer is yes. I'm fairly sure. I do have to play kind of fast though. Okay. Is that stalemate? Is this stalemate? No, it's not stalemate. Okay. Okay. We're fine. We're fine. Okay. 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 Okay, we win with 0.1 seconds on the clock. It was never in doubt. That was actually really tricky by my opponent because I thought they would come here. So I was getting ready to play here, and then they have to come back and they get checkmated. But instead, they waited, and then they played here, and it took me 1.5 seconds to react. So, we got the win. Let's analyze this crazy game. But I'll look at the game first, and then we'll get back to it. So, we'll cut the video here. It should start again soon. Alrighty, let's do this. So, it's been some time in real life, but in video time, it's been no time. I don't know how to speak. I'm gonna leave this in. I was gonna stop the recording and restart it, but it's kind of funny to see the nonsense that goes on. What I'm trying to say is, let's analyze this game. Okay, Opening pretty standard stuff. Oh, I guess you can play d4 here just straight up. It kind of makes sense. But in any case, we develop like this. No one really makes any big mistakes in the opening until this. Move a5. It's given a mistake. I think it's just a waste of time. And then I don't capitalize on this advantage. The reason I played a3 in this position is because I was pretty sure something like this would come, and I wanted to keep my bishop on this diagonal. However, the problem with a3, according to the computer, is that now our opponent can push. And with our bishop in the center of the board like this, we either have to move the bishop and let this pawn go, or take like this and now move our bishop. Computer's saying bishop b3. But really, it's also saying d3 and a2 are all fine. All these moves are fine. But this doesn't look that great because our strong center gets destroyed by this d5 push. So that was the mistake here. Apparently, I can just move back now, and then if I'm met with this, I can actually push in response and keep my strong center, attack this knight, and just gain a positional advantage. So, small mistake. My opponent doesn't make the necessary push. And now, developing is the best idea. We do that. Good job, us. Okay, pretty good move. A2 is the best move. Again, just getting the bishop out of the way of this push, I think. Let's see. Okay, yeah, this was another point that we were thinking about during the game, is where to put the queen. Okay, bishop a2, again, is strong here. Rook to c1 is strong. But if we're going to make a queen move, queen b3, the computer really likes. The reason I didn't play queen b3 in the game was because I thought if something, I thought if something like this happened, then the bishop has to move. Computer says it's totally fine. I just had played this a3 move, and so I really didn't want to block my bishop in like that. So that was my justification. But I think the big point here is this move isn't that strong. So moving your bishop out of the center onto another good diagonal is fine. And now it prevents moves like this because we can just take away because we have another defender. So I think that was the point that I missed. And what's also nice about it is, yeah, it puts pressure on this. It adds pressure with the bishop to the f7 square. There's a lot of benefits to it. So I made an inaccuracy. Yeah, it's all fine. Another inaccuracy. I think the point that I was missing in this game is that we really need to take advantage of the strong center. So that should be done with moves like d1, getting the rooks behind the pawns, and then eventually going for one of these pawn breaks and setting it up. This is getting the queen behind the pawn, but I think the rook is better, and this is just kind of a waste of a move. I really just like the tempo that it gave the rook. I thought that was fun. But computer says rook a8, and then if we win something like d1, how does it like it? Yeah, then it likes it, but alas, we could have been a little bit faster. Okay. But that's not what happens. Okay. Yeah. Again, computer doesn't like this. It just wants, again, to get... It doesn't want me to be playing on this side of the board. It kind of makes sense when you just, like, look at the structure very, like, from afar. like, this looks pretty strong, and to try to break against this side of the board doesn't seem as important as going after this knight and causing trouble for my opponent here where all my pieces are. So when I go over here, I guess I'm kind of like not utilizing all these pieces that are aimed at the center of the board. But again, it's not too bad. I still have about a +1, 1.5 advantage, especially after my opponent kind of locks the position. I think that's the problem with this move. Yeah, computer doesn't like me getting in this way, I guess. A7. I don't think it was the right way. It wants d5. It wants to go for a pawn break. Yeah, this is all very instructional stuff. It's been the theme of every mistake since, like, here. Is really just, I need to be going for the center of the board, supporting these pawns, rather than playing on the side of the board. Yeah, and this was just a waste of a move that our opponent clearly explained with this really nice idea of just kicking out my rook and getting your queen off the back rank. That was a great move. Finally, I pushed my pawn, and this was really good, playing in the center of the board. This is insane. I looked at the analysis before this, so I kind of remember. And this is the best move. Bishop back. Giving up your bishop so that you can get in with your knight. It makes a lot of sense. There's no way in a million years I find this. It just seems ridiculous. It's really just seeing that, yeah, you would love. So now you're just kicking out the queen, and now you can just take the knight this way. Very interesting stuff. But, okay, we go this way. We still have a pretty good position. But we give up the advantage fairly quickly. Yeah, the computer wants this bishop back idea. It's saying the bishop's not good here. And I think the key to this idea is it gets the rook involved. And now the rook can get to the 7th rank and put pressure on all those pieces. We do play it here. Our opponent induced this move, so it helped us out a little bit. But we play the good move. Yeah, it wants the rook to just get in straight away, actually, here, and start putting pressure. But we have this pawn trade first, and then we get the rook in. And now we're only slightly better. But then our opponent blundered, and we played the correct move, realizing that now we're putting a ton of pressure on this piece, and it's not allowed to move, because when it does, we check the king. I wish this was given a brilliant move. The best move in this position is knight here, trying to get in, and after a few moves, you get basically the same position. Yeah, knight back this way. Yeah, it ends up being about the same. This was flashier. I think this is such a fun move. I was very happy to play it. Just to highlight why it works. Yeah, and then we played here really solidly. Again, this move's really cool because maybe this pin is just easier too. But like, if I play a random move, this hangs. Or like even the knight idea to get in here, well, this hangs. It has to be this knight move specifically, because now if you were to take, you hang checkmate. Yeah, I'm actually really proud of this whole idea and being able to calculate that this works. So after this whole trade, we're safe. Because it looked very scary. And I was calculating in this position. Wait, what was it? Oh yeah, the 4. Sorry. Getting checked first. And then losing my bishop. But nothing works. Everything's protected. And even though my queen's being attacked, I can take with my queen. And then the way it was done in the game, we trade queens. And yeah, I had a minute in this position. I should have probably been playing a lot faster this whole time. But I think I commented on it, like, now the only thing to worry about is to play quickly, and that was very true, as we saw. Yeah, pretty standard stuff. It was pretty easy being 3 pawns up. I just had to not hang anything, and I was trying to be careful. In this position, I realized, this looks like scarily near stalemate. Like, if the knight could, let's see. How should we get the knight there? Yeah, if the knight could jump here, we're mated. So it's a little bit scary. You always have to be careful not to hang mate or something silly. But yeah, then we make it through. We promote. Again, why risk it? Like, this isn't stalemate. But you can always be tricked and end up giving a stalemate. This just looks scary, having the queen nearly boxing the king. So yeah, so I just promoted the other pawn. And then just got rid of the knight before making a new queen. Just so there was no added components there. Yeah, and then this was crazy. I think my opponent is so smart for this, because I had my my cursor like hovered over here, ready to play king here, because I thought that my opponent would play there, and so I wanted to do this instantly, and then I can literally pre-move after that, like queen to e2 or something, and that's really easy. So yeah, so that was very a nice last little trick to win on time, but I got it in with 0.1 seconds and we won the game. So that was cool. That was a fun game. I hope you guys were entertained. I hope some of this analysis was a little bit interesting. Thanks for watching. If you have, again, I said this at the beginning, but if you have like an opening I should try, I will try it. I'm trying to learn openings starting now, basically, because again, basically all I play is e4 to start, and if anything else happens, then I just wing it. So yeah, so thanks for watching. Have a good one. Bye-bye.